Hey crafty friends, Alicia from Love Letter Generation. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on here with a fun little DIY today. So this is something that just came into my mind when I was going through my stash. I ended up finding this gorgeous fabric which I hauled from Temu, and I thought it was so beautiful. It doesn't get used. It's just those kind of like those sample type pieces of fabric. Absolutely gorgeous prints, and I thought these would look really lovely as like an embellishment. So what I mean by that is I've grabbed some white cardstock. I'm going to glue the fabric onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to die cut out some like little labels and tags, and then we're going to have some really pretty fabric pieces that we can use. So I have my Aleene's Turbo Tacky Glue. It does say that it's an all-purpose glue, so I'm hoping that this will work well with the fabric onto the paper. We will see. Like I said, this is my first time trying this out, and yeah, I was just cleaning through my supplies, and I thought I would absolutely love to use these fabrics. And yeah, little sort of like little word embellishments came to mind, and I see lots of little tabs and fun little tags or tickets, and they'll have a nice fabric over them. So just scrub out. I'm hoping this will work with this paper. This is a good quality cardstock. It is a little bit bent because it did come in the post from Temu, when you know they arrive in plastic bags, not how you would purchase craft supplies usually. They usually come in a box. So I'm not too sure what the GSM of this is, but it does seem like a really nice thickness, but without being too thick, because I want to be able to still die cut, but I don't want them to be like flimsy or yeah, too thick that I can't get it through my die cutting machine. So let's just grab, I think I grabbed way too many. We'll start with this one here. Okay, so how are we going for sizing? Let me just check. It would probably be easier if we were to iron this maybe first to get all the wrinkles out, but I think if we smooth that out enough with the glue and then put something weighted on the top to make it heavy, I think that should flatten it out and that should work. So I'm basically just going to glue this whole sheet here. We're going to have some sticking out, but that's okay. I can just cut that excess strip of fabric off. I also did my little tag pieces that I said I was going to do. I'm going to pop some beautiful like threads onto these to gift, and I thought these beautiful little fabric flag embellishments and things like that will go perfect with it. So what I might do, so where'd it come up to? About here maybe. Mind you, it's not going to matter too much. Make sure you've got some kind of a, I guess a scraper, some kind of scraping tool. Like if you do mixed media, that might help flatten it out. Otherwise, you could just use your bone folder. Go around the edges, make sure I've got it, and I've got to be not too slow at doing this because this glue does dry fairly quick, but we don't want to miss any bits, but we also don't want too much glue that it's going to, you know, bubble and soak through, like go all lumpy and clumpy, if you guys know what I mean. So let's test this out. Make sure I've got it on the sheet there. Move it up a little bit. Actually, let's just try and focus on getting all the lumps out. So I'm going to try and see how that's already drying pretty quickly. I don't want to make too much of a mess, but I want to be able to push all of those bubbles out there of the fabric and the lumps. And then, yeah, that's already drying. Oh my gosh, that's dry very quick. So you guys can see what I mean now, how you have to work extremely fast. Like that just absorbed that in a matter of, what, seconds? So I'm going to have a lump here. Bit of a lump there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I think when I am die cutting this out, I'm going to like cut this piece as a side right here, and then cut this side over here as a piece, and we'll just leave that lumpy middle bit out of it. This is going to be so cute. Just a little bit of glue in this corner here that I missed. And along the edge here. There we go. Just try and get the lumps out of each side, and then we're going to have two good pieces to work with. So it's a little bit lumpy here in the middle, but like I said, as long as I can get two of the sides working well for me, it's not going to matter too much. A couple of little air bubbles in there. Otherwise, I'm quite happy with how this has turned out, and I think it's going to be really cute once I start die cutting like my fabric pieces out. So just put that over there. Let's I'll stick my cup over the big big lump there. Okay, so another piece of paper. You know what, it probably doesn't help with the lumps in the middle actually because of the paper being lumpy like that. Maybe I'll try this side and see how we go with the next one. Or another idea. Okay, so I'm going to do bit by bit and try and smooth it out as I go, so then it doesn't dry. And then we'll be able to smooth the glue out. So I'm just going to go, oops, sorry guys, I keep bumping the tripod. So let's go like this, and then we're going to go like this. And in my head, this should work, but I don't know. I'm still getting a few lumps. What's that bit there? Oh, the end of the cardboard. Okay. Next lot. And obviously I'm going to have to do this in different like days, different time frames, so I'll have to stop the video the video halfway through, because we're going to need to allow like for this to dry, and it might take a good maybe 24 hours. We'll have to wait and see. I'd have to say this way is working a lot better than first time around. I have less lumps in this piece, doing it bit by bit. I'm going to watch that the paper doesn't curl as well. I wish I had more of this pattern. It is absolutely gorgeous. But it was like one of those, you know, mixed sampler sort of packs of just pink florals, I think it was called. I'm starting to lose light now as well. It's getting very late in the afternoon. I would say it's almost, I'm pretty sure it's probably evening. I haven't even looked at the time. So this one has still the little like lump in the middle, which is okay. Again, I'm going to be cutting it into 2 pieces, and Might need just a tiny little bit more glue on this side because I don't quite think I got the edges. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I just need to do a tiny bit more glue. I reckon I'm going to need a new one of these soon at the rate I go through it. I'm sorry, I think I just bumped the camera again. Ah, look at that. Perfect. This one turned out way better. Maybe I should have done my least favourite one first. You know, I do like both of them. That's why I chose these two. So we're going to leave these to dry overnight and then come back, and then I will cut out some pieces, and then I'll show you how I'm going to use these as embellishments. As in, I'm going to show you the die cuts that I... So once this is dry, I'm going to do some die cutting, and then we're going to make some cute little, like, I don't know, flag embellishments with like nice sentiments on them, something like that. So I just need to go and find something nice and heavy to stick onto this so it dries nice and straight and flat. Let's just go with, I've got a couple of paper pads here which will work. Let's just use, oops, sorry guys. Let's just use these to flatten that out. So I'll be back. Okay, so it's the next day. So these only took overnight to dry. They turned out really well. They ended up working perfectly. So I'm going to cut these into sections now. I've already trimmed off a lot of the excess material and paper. Just make sure you keep your scrap pieces as well, because you can use these. So the excess material I ended up cutting off, and I can use this as some kind of like piece to embellish a crafty project, or use it as like a little ribbon to tie things up. And I am going to use, so I have this cutting die here, which I believe it was sort of like a recent haul from Temu, and it's all these different banners and shapes. So depending on how well these cut out, I was thinking of using sort of like shapes like this, which I will do off camera. You've got a bigger one there, so you can make lots of fun little embellishments. You can do smaller ones for your smaller pieces. Some like flag pieces we can do. Let me just see what else. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening right now, guys. I'm sorry. You can make one of those the computer is talking while I'm trying to film this video. I can't win. Oh my gosh, be quiet. Oh dear. It's talking to me something about music. What is it? Siri or something like that. I'm like, oh, stop talking. Anyway, what I was trying to say is I'm not going to be using these pieces here. So I'm going to be more or less using like your fishtail pieces, these circular pieces. So we'll be able to create some fun little fabric embellishments using those dies. And if anyone wants me to link this die set down below, oh sorry, not, I'll try to link it if I can find it. Is what I'm trying to say. That thing has scrambled my brain now. It's put me off. So I'm going to die cut these out, and then using the excess paper that I also cut off these fabric pieces, I'm going to do some stamping. We're going to do some like sentiments, words onto these. It's a paper, so there's no wastage whatsoever. Okay, so I have die cut out all my little pieces, and I absolutely love how they turned out. They are the cutest. And while I was doing all this die cutting, I had an idea. So you know how I said I was going to stamp out some sentiments? I did do that, but I'm not 100% happy with how they stamped out. I ended up using this Market Square by Maggie Holmes. I ended up using this beautiful stamp here, but I have found that it kind of stamped a little bit, I don't know, it's not as sharp. I don't know if it's because I'm using a distress oxide or whether I should be using an ink to get that more sharper look. I am new at stamping, so if anyone has any advice on how to get it looking nice and sharp, yeah, be grateful for you to let me know down in the comments section. So I had an idea. So originally I was going to cut these little strips out like this. I was just going to cut these words out and pretty much have them like on here like this. Obviously a lot smaller. That's actually quite big. So let's trim it down. And I'm just using scissors to do this. I don't need to do a paper cutter because the whole idea is to make them sort of look a little bit, I guess, shabby in a way. Like they don't have to be perfect. That's a little crooked, but that's okay. I am doing this just to give you guys an idea of what my original sort of thought and plan was with this. My hands are very, very shaky today. I've had pretty bad anxiety. But yeah, my idea was to pop the words on like the little banner pieces like this to create these little cute embellishments. I was going to also pop them through my sewing machine, do a little bit of stitching on the side down there, and these are going to make cute little embellishments to pop onto your crafty projects. The only thing is I've decided now not to go with paper. I actually think it'll look really cute if I was to use another material piece like some canvas and stick that on top. Now I don't have any canvas, or when I say canvas I mean like calico. I don't have any calico in my stash, but I thought it'd be really cute to stamp onto some calico, cut it out, and then stitch it on. And I thought that would make really, really cute embellishments. Just, I guess the words with the paper, it does still work, but I thought the calico would look much nicer. So then you'd have basically two lots of material. So material on material. So the other pieces I cut out, so I've got these little sort of like border flag pieces. They all turned out so good. It worked out perfectly for my first time attempting this. I'm quite surprised. They're so gorgeous, and I ended up getting so many embellishments out of all of these. Look at these ones. These ones I would say would have to be my favorite. Like this patterned fabric, I think is so beautiful. So I'm going to do a part 2 video of my completed fabric embellishments, because I keep having ideas, so I think I need to do a part 2. You guys know what it's like. I just, yeah, more ideas keep coming into mind, and yeah, I want to try it stamping on the calico. So I'm going to have to go to a craft shop and get some of that, maybe Spotlight. So I want to make these ones into little like word embellishments. I also thought about sticking, I think it'd be really nice to stick some like gold glitter cardstock as well. I think that would look really nice with these fabric embellishments. Now, which one haven't I shown you out of this one? This sort of bigger flag piece. But yeah, I absolutely love how these turned out. They are so gorgeous. So, I just love them. So beautiful. You got a nice different texture to work with. These I'm going to turn into cute little embellishments. Probably put some tiny little words on these too, and some stitching. They are going to be gorgeous. And I also had an idea. I'm also going to do this whole fabric cardstock idea using like this little embroidery hoop cutting die that I have. I thought that would look really cute, making these into like, yeah, fabric embroidery hoop embellishments. I think that'll look adorable. So the die that I showed you before, or the die set, I ended up using for all of these, but I also used this cutting die as well for the flag pieces. I haven't popped it back on in the set yet, but for those of you that might be wondering, this is an Australian brand, and it's like a cut apart essentials die, it's called. So you got all your little, again, tabs and tags and things like that that you could use to create these. Otherwise you can just get, yeah, these kinds of dies pretty much everywhere. I'm sure we all have this type of cutting die in our stash where we can make all these cute little bits and pieces. So yeah, stay tuned. I am going to be doing a part 2 video of how the finished product goes. Please let me know with the stamping, for those of you that may stamp, whether it's the stamp that I'm using that's not clear, or whether it's the type of ink that I'm using. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all on part 2. Thanks. Bye.